y'all. Have a great day. Talk to you so soon. Enjoy the beautiful garden. Prayers and love. Thank you. Hey, Lucas. Thank you for coming through. How are you this blessed day? Absolutely, it is a blessed day. Thank you very kindly. I'm gonna move y'all around to the other side because I'm gonna go to the other side and fix some stuff over there. But it is a good morning. Good morning, Kajaria. And okay, I'm gonna go right over here because this morning I'm picking greens to cook myself. And this stuff is for my chickens in this basket. And just to let y'all see, hey Aaron, thank you for coming through. This the kind of stuff that I don't be liking that be in the garden. You see this bug crawling on my plant. Hey Shalista, I don't like that. I'm scared of bugs, and I don't know what he doing. He need to go on somewhere. I don't know if he eating something from off of the plant or what. Hey, good food. Good morning to you all. I think over here it's past morning. But yeah, I got a bug on. Let me get something and knock him off because he is truly in my way. He's slowing me down from doing what it is. I need that reach out and touch me situation going on somewhere. I'm even scared to touch it with the stick. Go. It's the one thing I hate about gardening. Ooh. It's going on somewhere. Yeah, I came out here this morning to pick from the garden because I'm gonna cook these collard greens today. Um, nope, these collard greens good food. Yeah. So you actually eat what you grow. Oh, absolutely I do. I picked over here from this side first. And I'm coming around too. And then I got more stuff there. Yeah, no, I eat this stuff and I feed my chickens some of the stuff. Like what you see me breaking off of and leaves that have spots on them and stuff like that. I don't eat that stuff because I don't have to, like people did back in the days. My grandma was very picky about, girl, you better pick that bad spot off of there and throw that part in the garbage can and put the rest of my green in that pan over there. I don't do that. Any of my greens and stuff that have spots on them, I feed them to my chickens um, all the time. So I'm just gonna pick some of these. Hey, chef. Good morning to you. What you got cooking today? Um, I'm gonna pick some of these just to give them to my chickens. Some of them got like some bug activity going on it, so I'll pick them off and give them to my chickens. Like, see that right there? It's got a lot of bug stuff going on with it. That's good protein for my chickens and a way for me to get it off. And these are Brussels sprouts, so it don't really need these leaves, but we eat these leaves from off of the Brussels sprouts, and I pick them whenever I get ready to. Oh, this coach seat with the oh Lord, starting to feel just a little better. Oh, I'm so sorry that you feeling bad, but you know I understand what it feel like when you feel bad. I'm glad you feeling a little bit better. Hey, Gamma, how are you today? And I'm gonna show y'all one of the cabbages that I got from the grocery store, and then to replant it. Also, a faster way to grow some things. Um, regrow your food from the grocery store if you can. A lot of that stuff there is a way that you can regrow it and stuff. So, I be talking about getting your money's worth back from the stuff that you get from the grocery store. That stuff can be real expensive. So, y'all see these leaves that I'm getting off of my Brussels sprouts? Very edible, just like cabbage is or whatever, but I'm not ready to eat any cabbage yet. I actually thought about eating cabbage today, um, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna eat collard greens instead today. And so, just to when you growing Brussels sprouts, you need to pick some of those leaves from off of there, so the energy go to growing your Brussels sprouts versus just growing leaves. But I eat the leaves and the Brussels sprouts on there, so to me they grow better than what cabbage do. But let me show y'all one of the cabbages that I regrow. See, when you cut your cabbage off of your stem, you see this cabbage? This is a cabbage right here that's growing. You cut all your cabbage from off of your stem, and then you sit the core part of it in water, and you let it reroot, and you replant it in the garden. And here is what you get another cabbage growing. Sometimes you get two or three that grow on the same cabbage, but that's an example of regrowing your cabbage. I have another one back in the back, but it ain't doing as good as that one is back there. That's another cabbage that you know, you paid for it, and then you regrow it and get you some more. Get you another cabbage or two from out of that. I see you're up and around. Yes, I'm definitely trying. And to be honest with you, Gamma, I feel so tired right now, and I need to have a seat somewhere. But and I am. Uh, but I get to get out, and I feel better today than I did yesterday. I'm driving, but wish I was home to put you and that garden on the TV screen. Thank you. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna plant all of the cabbage starter plants. Um, well, one way that I'll tell you, Gamma, you don't need a huge pot um to do your cabbages in. Um, And I told you, whenever you get ready to, we can just set it up. I don't have chemo until Monday now. It's been canceled again and rescheduled, so I don't have chemo again until Monday. So if you want to do um, another garden video, we can do it between today and Sunday. Just let me know. And then then you get to ask multiple questions and figure out, what it is that you're gonna or want to do. But with a cabbage, you don't need a whole bunch of room, like the gallon things or whatever. If you had a 5 gallon bucket, you could actually plant all four of those cabbages in a 5 gallon bucket. But two, to give them some space, I would encourage two to a bucket. But you can absolutely put them in. Let me show you something right now that you could plant one cabbage in. That'll be good for a cabbage. I'm gonna show you something. Gamma something this size right here, and I think this is a gallon bucket. Um, I'm not sure. But you see this bucket is about the size of my head or a little bit bigger. This would be good for you to put one cabbage inside of these. So you need something like 4 of these right here, or possibly, I think the one that you had your peppers planted in at first, I think one of those. So then if you had peppers and stuff planted in that and then you took them from out of that or whatever and they free, then you could do one cabbage in one of those. It don't need a whole bunch of room. The cabbage is gonna go off of how much water you're feeding it, how much water you're giving to it, and how much nitrogen that you give to it. So okay, let me look at the weather. It's raining today. I wish it would rain here. We ain't getting no rain. But yeah, that's cabbages don't need as much room as your other stuff like that need. But I done picked my greens and I don't think I got enough yet. So I need to bend the corner. Cause this how much I got so far. Everybody don't eat them, but I've been cooking it. Me, myself, I've been trying to eat like the greens and stuff from out of my garden now, you know, at least 2 or 3 times out the week or whatever. And some of my kids be like, yeah, I want some of them greens. So you never know what they gonna say. But around the corner here, I have a lot more greens sitting there. And in this space right here that I done cleared out, I have spinach planted there. And I'm starting to see some little evidence of them starting to come up. But not a whole lot. I'm looking for it. But if you can see right here, the only one that I really see right now, it is what it is. This garbage. So I'm waiting to see some evidence of some other seeds or whatever growing. But these the greens that I done picked so far that I'm getting ready to. I already got my turkey. It's on in the crock pot already. That's getting ready to these greens to go with. But I'm finna get ready to wash and clean them. So I can put me on some greens. Now let me show y'all my sunflower that random growed. Y'all see how big it is? Let me stand on the side of it. Yeah. Okay, yes, I put the peppers in the garden bed. So use those extra pots. Yep, and put one cabbage in each one of those pots, but fill your pot all the way up with soil. Fill it all the way to the top. And then plant your make a hole in it in the center of it that's big enough for you to plant the dirt that came with the cabbage and everything. Crush it just a little bit and sit it inside of the hole and water in real good and let it rip. But like I said, when you ready for us to do another garden live, then let's go. Let's see how tall. I'm I'm 5'4" myself, and this thing is almost, well, it is, if you count this leaf right here, it is to my neck already. So this thing is about 4 feet tall already. So I can't wait until the whole back garden gets done with all sunflowers. And that one just randomly growed. I told y'all you can throw a seed down on the ground and it'll grow itself without no help from you at all. It will just grow. So this probably a sunflower seed that came from my chicken feed, because y'all know I use my chicken poop from my chickens to fertilize my plants and stuff. So in the midst of carrying it over here or something to use it, it probably it probably just fell down on the ground and then it just randomly growed. So yeah, I get a lot of random things growing in the garden. Um, and it's nice because I've been talking about sunflowers to y'all for a minute. So it's nice to just have one that's growing in my face. I can't wait till it get a head on it to see what color it actually is. Cause some of them grow all kinds of colors on them. And I particularly like the ones that grow like a rust. I like the yellow ones, and I like the ones that grow like a rusty color on them. They real pretty. Do you eat the seeds from it? From the sunflower seeds? Absolutely. Put them right on in the oven and bake them. It sure do. Yes, ma'am. Just like I be trying to eat. Usually, these leaves that you see me, these Brussels sprout leaves that you see me take them off, we eat them like they cabbage. Hey, it's a whole vibe. Um, we'll eat these like they cabbage because they from off of the Brussels sprouts. Taste just like cabbage, but I need to pick some off of it every now and then, and so when I do it like today and I'm not ready to eat them, sometimes I'll wash them and cut them up and put them away in the freezer. But then other times I just pick them off because they grow so fast. And I just feed them to my chickens. Y'all know we be taking care of the we be taking care of the chickens over here. So and I'm gonna take y'all over here with me because I'm going to give what I have already, which is this pile of stuff right here, to my chickens. I'll let y'all see them, and they be waiting. They know that I'm going to give them something. They be waiting for me to look at how they at the door. They be waiting on me to bring them something. Look at them, like they ain't never had nothing all day long. I thought Brussels sprouts was the cabbage. Well, that's what I grow instead of cabbage because they just grow better here in Florida than anywhere else, and so I done started growing Brussels sprouts versus cabbage. Gamma, where you at is a better place um, to grow cabbage than it is here. You better get down. Yeah, get down on the ground and get you some. That one right there, up to the top, she likes special treatment. She like you to give her some, bring hers to her. You see the one that's up there on the top? She wants you to give her a special treatment instead of her getting down and get it. You see what I'm talking about? She wants you to stand here and hold it so she can eat her leaf. And see, I ain't got time. You gonna have to get this leaf and get it, girl. Get down and go get it, cause the other ones want theirs on. She wants you to stand there. She's spoiled. She want to stay up there. She don't want them boys to catch her and be trying to get on her and everything. And now we got these bad babies. These ones right here. These are our old girls. Yeah, she thinks she a princess. These are our old girls right here, the ones that we won't never process. These the first chickens that we got. Um, and then we take their eggs and then we make more chickens out of them in the incubator. I don't know if you can see those. And here's a look at the food that they normally eat every single day. Sometimes I don't be trusting my kids to feed them the right way, so sometimes I come out here and give them a little bit extra of what they already had because I don't know how well they've been fed. She got that princess got down that time. And she want that. And they got plenty of eggs and stuff going on in there. Um, Very interesting. Man, you get eggs for free. Absolutely, Yeet. Let me show you. These chickens already have a couple of eggs out here waiting to be picked up, but I'm not going to go inside and get the chickens. I really don't deal with them too much right now because I have cancer and the dust and stuff that they be throwing up around. There's an egg back there in the back of that pen in those beds up there to the top. They got eggs there. I'm gonna show you. I can't show you the ones on the inside of there, but If you look inside this one, you can see there's 4 eggs inside of this cage right there alone. One right there, one there, and inside of the day little box that's there, there's 3 eggs inside of that one. So yeah, we get free eggs all day long. And let me see. I don't take y'all on the garden tour because I don't have the energy to walk around anymore. But I'm gonna show you some of our mangoes that we got. You see that one hanging there? Um, right, David. I love that noise too. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh, that's Darcy. Hey, Darcy. I don't see it. My eyes is a little bit blurry too at this time, but see, there's more mangoes hanging on this tree. I can't tell y'all what kind of mangoes these are, but what I can tell you is when you get mangoes from the store, don't throw the seed in the garbage. Go outside and dig a hole and put it in the hole and see what it does. There's another one up there. And then I have um Tashanna, be sure to take a break. I am. I'm going to. I'm actually gonna go and take a seat in just a second. Cause you hear I'm breathing. I'm breathing hard already as it is. Um but yeah, that's one of my mango trees that grows mangoes on it. And I think I'm gonna go over here for a second and we gonna sit down. Here's the pineapple. Look at all the pineapples that's inside of there. All the babies of what y'all can see. What we have. But we finna sit down by the strawberry patch. And see what we got going and growing inside of here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so now we here by the strawberries. And again, I want you to see what I have my strawberries in. When you spread them out, once you spread them out and you put them in their own growing space, they make more plants. And what you can do is when the cold comes, it might take your strawberries out and it may not. But if it do, put you one before the cold comes back again. Put you one inside of a pot and take it on the inside of the house and take care of it there until, let me get my umbrella so I can be out of the sun. Shade, because I don't want to be burnt up by no sun. I know none of that. I don't need that kind of experience. Um, okay. Um, but yeah, Gamma, what I was saying was, the more, and we'll talk about it more. I'm gonna answer your questions. But the more space you create for them to be able to um, make little arms and stuff on them, they make more plants. But when it start to get cool or whatever, take you one inside of the house to nourish it. and take care of it while it's cold. And then when the heat come back again, you take one out there and leave some of them out there to see how they do during the cold. I ain't never had the experience because my strawberries never go anywhere. They just keep multiplying. Even one time I wasn't taking care of them at all, and they still did their thing. One of the times then I left home or whatever. But yeah, uh, I still need to plant my pineapple tops. Yeah, she cooks. Go ahead and do that. Um, and however you gonna do that, if you need to plant them in individual pots or whatever, go ahead and put, because you can always, if you put them in individual pots, you can always transplant them later on. I used to have them in pots, then I had them in an area where I was growing them like hedges, and then I just decided to put all of them in a bed together. This bed done overgrown, and this done gave us like 40 or 50 pineapples. And so the ones that we get from off of this bed right here, um I start to I added another bed to it, so then I take the heads off of the new ones that we get and plant them all in that bed right there. Keep your stuff going that you already paying for from the grocery store or whatever. Reuse it and get your money's worth from out of it, because it's a lot of stuff you can regrow from the grocery store. If you ask me a question and I know how to regrow it or whatever, or maybe I need to ask y'all the question, can you regrow this right here? But a lot of stuff you can regrow from the grocery store. Get your money's worth from the stuff you growing that you buy from the grocery store and you eat already. She is something, isn't she? Thank you. Okay, I'm from Wisconsin, waiting for waiting for mine to come back. Oh, so you Gamma in Wisconsin too, ain't you? Yeah, Gamma, that's where you at too. So when the winter time come, your strawberries actually come back, Darcy? See, I didn't know. That's a question yeah, you waiting on your strawberries to come back. So you grow the strawberries, and what does it do? What do it make them go like to a dormant state, and then when the springtime and stuff come back, do they come back out? Cause see, it don't get that cold like that in Florida, so we have days, and then the strawberries do really good throughout the winter time. I put I put them in the garage. Oh, okay then. So you protect them. So that's the same thing like I'm saying to Gamma to when the winter time come, because you ain't sure like what they gonna do or whatever. Like and I don't know because I'm not in the snow or whatever, so I really can't answer the question to them. But to make sure you have some that following year or whatever, make sure to do what you got to do to like protect them or whatever. Well, good. They come back. That's good to know. I think they so cute right here. It reminds me of Little Shop of Horror. Look at it. Feed me, Simo. Look how see how it's laying over or whatever, but it's so cute. That's a strawberry growing right there. This is the start of a strawberry. For those that don't know, it start with this white flower right here. But like I got 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot. There's a lot of strawberries growing on this one right here. They don't last long because as soon as we see them get the strawberries on them, we be out here. They don't stand a chance. We go for them with the quickness. Like, see, there's one right there for me. That one's ripe enough, so I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one off of there. Um, you see all these other little stems and stuff. They already had strawberries on them. We already done took them off and ate them. Over here, and see this my bowl. What I told y'all. I did with you all, telling you all how I started my strawberries in the first place. I have had no success in here just yet, but I also told y'all, strawberries is like watching paint dry on the wall. It take them a long time to come up. So if you're trying to grow strawberries from the grocery store, there's a lot of patience that go along with it. So I'm gonna just put it back because it ain't bothering nobody. And when they wanna decide to come on out and grow themselves, then we'll be waiting on them when they get here. Are yours ever bearing or spring bearing? Mine is ever bearing. Um, Wait a minute. Darcy, let me not tell no lie. I don't know the difference between the two of them. All I know is they keep on producing strawberries, and they just started producing strawberries probably every year they do it, but when the strawberries came on there, it was about they've been making strawberries now for about 2 months. Mine just keep on making like little arms on them, but see all of those, that's strawberries there too. Got a whole bunch of them on there. This one's strawberries over here. I got bell peppers over there in the corner, but this one is too. Everbearing. And there's another strawberry right there. I'm gonna take that one. These two strawberries and a banana is gonna be my fruit for today when I leave from out here. But yeah, I don't know, Darcy, because I started these strawberries from the grocery store. I bought some strawberries from Publix one time, and then I planted them, and they've been growing ever since then. I done had these strawberry plants now for I think for about 3 years. Mine are spring and the berries are smaller. Oh, okay then. So then maybe I have everbearing. I don't know. I really don't know. Just because I grew them, this is something that I started from the grocery store, which I be telling y'all, grow your food from the grocery store. So I really can't tell you what the name of them is. So I don't want to tell no lie about that. Also over there in that corner, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see the bell pepper plant. Woo! Which is right there. Um, there's a whole bunch of bell pepper plants around that one big bell pepper plant. I bought the plant from the store the first time that I bought. I never buy plants from the store. I always start my stuff from seed. But that was the first time I bought a plant. And then when I take a bell pepper off and cut it open, I take the seeds from it and throw it around the plant. So when it create more and people say they want a bell pepper plant, then I just dig them up one of those and put it in a pot or whatever and give it to them, because I constantly have bell pepper plants coming up. So I can give them away or I can sell them or whatever, but mostly I'm a giver. So I like giving stuff away too. I like making money too, but I got other ways of doing that. But yeah, those are my bell pepper plants, and usually I have a lot. So sometimes you'll see me, I'll dig some of them up. I dug 6 of them up, and those 6 are already gone. I need to take some more out of there so like it have room to keep growing more or whatever. But so you think I may have the ever bearing ones? I don't know, Darcy. We'll see. We'll find out one of these days. We can't even technically plant till May 30th. Wow. Do you start inside before you bring them outside? Cause me, I can't imagine having to wait till May 30th because I'm like one of them. I'm like I'm an anxious gardener. It's like anxious or itching gardener. It's like I can't control myself. It's like I'm so excited about growing. So it's like when it start to get too far along in the season or whatever, it's like an itch that comes on, and it's just like I feel like I gotta go out and I gotta do something, even though sometimes I make a mistake and plant something too early and it don't quite make it or whatever. Then if I can't do that, then I'm on the inside trying to plant some stuff and grow it from in there. It's just I just feel the need to be growing at all times. And I guess that's a good thing, but let me tell you something. Yeah, May 30th. Oh my God, I don't know what I would do if I had to wait till then. So Darcy, I'll probably be like you out in the garage, be planting all kind of stuff, having it on the shelf or whatever, waiting for it to come up so I can plant it outside. And I was still doing that, and then I stopped, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just start direct sowing into the ground. And so I've stopped like doing a lot of stuff in pots or whatever, even though I got the pots everywhere. I got pots galore. I'm gonna show y'all. Even though they a mess over there, they all on the ground and everything. But I'm scared to go over there because that's the direction. When the other day that I was live, I was telling y'all the snake went over there, and I had them all stacked up, but it was a snake living inside of up under the pots or whatever. So then when you need them, then you just go over there and you kick it. You kick it or you hit it with something to make sure it ain't no snake in there, and then that way you can get a pot that way. So it's like I don't care about them being spread everywhere. Even though I do care about them being spread everywhere, I want them to be neat. They was neat at one point, but when it come down to a snake, I don't care nothing about that. Now I'm looking around to see, do I see a snake anywhere? Um, Publix vegetables are from the Garden of Eden. You think so? You think so? Yeah. Publix have grapefruit. Um, and I said I want to go and try Whole Foods. I love Whole Foods, and I'm telling y'all now, you can't trust these farmers markets and everything, because all you got to do is go and look at some of the investigations that they done been doing. So you know, like farmers markets supposed to be places like where you from people like us, people that grow their own food in their own garden, and then they go to the farmers market and they sell it to those people um, to sell it to us consumers and stuff. And all the time that stuff is not coming. So that's why I be saying you cannot trust the people that be saying that they stuff is organic, and they be saying that this is the farmers market, so it came out of a local garden or whatever. You can't trust none of it, because trucks be pulling up and be delivering stuff to them just like it they come, and it's coming just like it come from the grocery store. So you have to be careful. I just say it ain't no way to be careful with these people saying stuff is organic. Hey, Aaron Jones. um you have to be careful with these people. And again, I say ain't no way for you to be careful. The only careful thing that you can do is grow your own stuff, and then you will know what you get in that way. All this stuff saying it's organic and it's this and it's that, you don't have no way of knowing. All these people be lying and stuff because they want your money, and then if they can put the label organic, see, you know, these are organic. I'm not using any pesticides or anything like that. I'm scared to use pesticides. I already got cancer, so I don't need anything else that might put something in me that harm me. I don't use no pesticides. Um, no, none of that stuff. I don't spray anything. I let my fruit, if it's gonna have a spot on it, it gonna have a natural spot on it. My mangoes ain't gonna be perfect like the ones you see from the grocery store, and they don't have no little black dot or whatever on it, or none of that stuff. I don't use any of that stuff. It's just, it is what it is. And the only way for you to get that type of stuff is grow your own food. Grow your own food. A man tried to sell me watermelon for $10 the other day. I told him I'll wait. Yep, I planted my own watermelon waiting for him to grow. And this the area. I'm gonna show you the area that I got left open for my watermelon to grow, so that it don't aggravate. Like when they get ready to cut the lawn. See, I move all of this stuff right here out of the way. And then my watermelon will grow from out of that bed right there. I'm fixing my steps. Well, not me, but my daughter fixing my steps with the cement right there, so it'll be easier for me to go up the stairs and everything. Ain't she so sweet? But we'll move all of this stuff right here from out of the way, and then when the watermelon start to grow from out of that bed right there, it will go over the side of them, and then on grow in the ground, all in this area right here, out of the way. I remember one year I didn't even have to plant any watermelon. They randomly grew by themselves, and I just laughed. Because sometimes you grow a watermelon and one of them busts open or whatever, and it'll leave the seeds down there. So, you know, just like I said, you don't have to go out and plant a garden. You can go out in your backyard and you can just sling some of the seeds from what you've already bought onto the ground, and it'll grow. Just try it. Put it somewhere where it won't get ran over by the lawnmower or whatever. You go out there one day and you'll be thoroughly surprised. Oh my God, especially a tomato. We cut tomatoes up, right, let the seeds go down the sink, or we throw them in the garbage or whatever. You go to You go if you go to a place where you dump garbage and stuff like that. I bet you can go out there and walk around, and you can see tomato plants growing everywhere. Miss Coffee, hi. How are you? Good to see you. You can go out there at where they dump trash and stuff at, and you will see tomatoes growing everywhere out there. A tomato plant is one of the easiest things that you can grow. I have one randomly growing up in the front yard. It's a little bit different. How it got there, I don't even know. I don't even know how it got there, but yeah, grow your own food. You hear? That's all you can say. I hear that. I hear that. I'm here. I'm glad you here. Glad you are here. Oh Lord, what do you want? um, I've got a snake. His name. Oh, look, Darcy, you got a snake as a pet. Uh. I've got a. Let me finish reading this statement. Wait a minute. I've got a snake. His name. And he got a name. Oh Lord. His name is Deal, and he's orange. What? He orange and pink stripe. Uh, Darcy, you say he adorable. Lord have mercy. Uh. Now you got me looking around for them colors. Stop it, I say. What? Orange and pink stripe, and he's adorable and never bites. He got teeth. Do he got teeth? Everything that got teeth will bite at some point in their life. What? Darcy. Oh, he ain't got no teeth. Okay, then I believe you. He ain't got no teeth. I believe you. He don't bite. Right? I be like anything that got teeth and bite at some point. Even us as people. Put your hand in the wrong place. He eats once a week. What he eat? What the snake eat? My kids done asked me before. They done found a ring neck out here in the yard, and can we put him in a cage? In a cage? Well, in a fish tank? Well, not in my damn house. No, no. Little frozen baby. Oh, okay then. Whew. Yeah, girl, you better than me. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine a snake living in my house. Uh. No, let me tell you something. I don't like no spider. I don't like bugs. No, I don't like no bugs. I don't like snakes. I don't like worms. Um, yeah, nothing to it. You should have seen me out here earlier. It was a bug, a beetle or something on one of my collard greens. I had to get a stick that is long distance, for I can knock him off of yeah, knock him off of there. No, I ain't playing with barely. Barely, Darcy. I was a kid that grew up with yeah, I didn't grow up with animals. I like some of them, but not that many. Hold on just one second. But okay, y'all, I'm back. You say, do I like animals? If we gonna go back to that answer right there, let me tell you something. I grew up without no animals. My mama had fish, but you wasn't even allowed to touch the fish tank because she didn't want fingerprints on the fish tank or no none of that stuff right there. So I could never enjoy them. So like, then when I met my husband, um, he liked dogs. He liked to have dogs. So then he introduced dogs, but by the time you get to that place right there, I'm in my 20s when I meet him. I don't like the way dogs smell. So it's, but then when you got them there in the house, it's like, let me just say this for an explanation thing, and y'all don't beat me up about it. It's like I got a love hate relationship, like with the dogs, right? So in the beginning, because I never grew up with that right there, and I can't, certain smells I can't stand the smells of them or whatever. So I can't stand when a dog start to like get that smell. I'll be like, bathe them immediately, and I don't want to keep smelling that smell. So then I'm kind of funny with things like that. But then it's like I'm in love with the dogs when they like little babies and everything, and then when they start to grow up and then do all of those other things that they do and everything, it's like I don't hate them or whatever. I'm okay with them being there because my kids love them. They done grew up with a dog they whole life. My kids ain't spent no time without having a pet in the house. Um, and they sit around and they hold them and everything all day long. I just ain't never had that chance to do that. So let me tell you about something. Like last year, we had a Chihuahua, and her name was Chi Chi, and we had Chi Chi for 15 years. And one day, I was back in the back garden and way back in the back, um, and somebody started shooting, and she does not like loud noises. You know, a lot of chihuahuas get real scared when they say. So somebody was shooting one day, and she got scared and she ran, and some kind of way she got out of our yard, which ain't never happened. She got out of the yard and she ran away somewhere, and we could not find her. And I told my daughter, I say, on the third day we're gonna find her. Well, we got a page out here in our community, like, if you want to keep up on what's going on out here. And something, my daughter was inside of the store, and something said, go look on the page. And as soon as I hit the page of our community, the first thing I see is a picture of the top of my dog's head. She ended up getting hit by a car, and one of my neighbors found her, and because she couldn't find who she was that night, she called the dog pound, and they took her to the dog pound. And I was looking, I was asked, well, I asked them about it on the first night. Did they find a dog? And they was saying that they couldn't find nothing. But all along, once I saw the neighbor and I began to talk to the neighbor, she began to give me her address and everything of where they picked the dog up from. So I gave the dog pound that information or whatever. And as a matter of fact, we were at the Dollar Tree, and my youngest daughter was in the store, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy Chi Chi a treat." So that when she comes home, then I got some treats and stuff for her. But while she was in the store, we found out that with me having the address of where they picked her up from, that they had euthanized her. And I thought that in that situation that it would not affect me because she was already older, and so like um she had started to do things like get arthritis and stuff like that right there. So um I didn't think that it would affect me in the way that it did, but when it I still have the emails and stuff right now today when the people was like, oh, we had to euthanize her. I sent a message back to them, Jesus Christ. And then I went to, so we ended up having a conversation on the phone with and I didn't know like the proper protocol. Do I go and pick her up so that we can do it and everything? And I talked to my friends and everything. I just didn't think that I would react in this way. um and my friend was like, trust me, don't go, let them lay her to rest the way that they do it or whatever. Don't go and do that because it's just going to be a more trauma. I ended up having to get counseling from the humane society because I couldn't handle knowing it is like you need, you was gonna say something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back again. So I ended up having to get counseling from the humane society. My kids dealt with their thing, but I just didn't know that in the midst of that I would be having or feeling some type of way um that I did. I really thought I would be able to skate through it because I knew her time was drawing near. um and I just didn't think that it was going to affect me the way that it did. Let me tell you something. I think I cried for like 3 days. um yeah, that was something else. So yes, they do teach you something. And here lately, the past couple of days, like my kids been saying, we need another dog, but we still have two dogs right now. We still have two dogs right now, but it's like for them, it's like, well, we need our another little dog again. So yeah, I don't know. And we done had like four little dogs. Another instance that we had another little dog. I was telling my kids when they take the dog to the park or whatever, um, put him on a leash. And this one particular night, nobody was thinking because we had a one of my sisters passed away in a house fire. And so on this particular night, it was a whole bunch of stuff going wrong, and just in the neighborhood in general because we lived in a family-owned neighborhood before we moved here. Um, and it was just this house fire, and there was an explosion, and in that explosion, one of my sisters passed away in that fire. Um, and the kids were, it was a lot of moving around. It's a lot of stuff that happened during the time if you have a somebody passed away in your family or whatever. And one of my kids was walking with the dog and didn't have her on the leash, and the situation was basically over with. But there was a police officer that came driving through the neighborhood that is a closed neighborhood, and he should have been doing like 10 miles per hour going through the neighborhood, and he came through doing like 40 or 50, and he hit my dog, which then prompted a whole nother thing. Like we didn't couldn't understand, like, why are you driving through the neighborhood like this right here and everything. So it's like my family cussed the police officer out, of course, and it was a whole nother, it was more traumatic situation. So it's like, yeah, they absolutely come. And I think that I don't, the only time like it kick in for me is that if one of them get hurt or they need to go to the hospital or something like that or whatever. It's like, yeah, I take care of them in that way, but everything else is like that, it's they thing. Because I ain't grown up. My kids love dogs and animals. Me. Now that I got chickens and stuff like that, it was so funny. Me and this other person was talking about, well, what you do with the chickens when like storms and stuff come. And I remember I bust out laughing because I knew what she was getting at. And it was like, And I was telling my husband one time when a storm was coming, I was like, "We gonna bring the chickens inside of the house." My husband looked at me and he was like, "Hell no, we ain't bringing no chickens in the house." He was like, "What about the chickens? Cause we got a place in Oviedo." Hey, Korean. We got a place in Oviedo that's here in Orlando that the chickens are protected. They get to walk across the street. You hit one of them, and the police gonna show up and all of this stuff, right? And so we there, and he was like, "Well, what do the chickens do when storms come?" He's saying sometimes somehow they survive or whatever. And I thought about it, and I'm just like, "Child," but I ain't the only one that think about you gonna bring your animals on the inside of your house and stuff like that when different storms and stuff come. It's just like when you don't know, you just don't know. But I'm not really an animal person, but like I'm learning to be through like my kids and stuff like that. It's like I ain't the one that I'm gonna be sitting there and I'm gonna be rubbing on them every day or no nothing. I'm the type of person. Did the dogs eat today? Do they have food? You know, I'm that type of person. But like to be sitting there with them in my lap and rubbing on them and everything. No, Darcy, I ain't that kind of person, but I found out that I care about them more than I thought I did, you know, when they're around. But my kids, they hopelessly, they love, like my daughter sitting here right now. She got her dog out here play boxing with her. They love their animals, but they grew up like that. I just didn't, and I'm grateful that my kids didn't grow up um, the way that I did. You know, they dealing with some of the things that I dealt with. You know, but we gonna let God handle um, those situations. You know, I don't really want to talk about that right now. But yeah, here Darcy got me talking about animals. She talking about a snake over here, and I'm talking about dogs. Rest in peace, Chi Chi. I know that's right. Yeah, Chi Chi had a good life though. You moving around? Yeah, it was traumatic. I thought you looking well today. I feel a lot better today, Juanita. You know, y'all know yesterday. And this is what I'll say my problem is on the day that I have bad days, it start early in the morning. So say I explained this yesterday, last night. It's like say you sleep and you get a phone call in your sleep, or you get somebody yelling at you and saying like the house is on fire. Imagine like the knots and stuff that your stomach will be in. So sometimes I'm having dreams or something about like I'll wake up having a dream about I gotta go to chemo or whatever, and just because of the sickness that chemo causes or whatever in your stomach, it's like you wake up already with that knot in your stomach, and from that point you know what the knot is there in your stomach from, so you can't quit thinking about it over and over again. And sometimes I just I want to come on here and talk about the things that I'm going through, but I don't necessarily want to pull somebody else's day down or whatever by talking about the things that I'm going through. And that's what I'm supposed to be using YouTube for, is for my diary, for the things that I'm going through, things that I usually would write in my journal. I'm able to say them out loud or whatever. And so a lot of times what you see happening is I done sat there with it and let it marinate forever and a day instead of doing what I'm supposed to do with it, and it usually starts to cause me to go into a place of where it just get worse throughout the day until I come on and I talk about it and get rid of it. And so yeah, that's how I literally get, like I wake this morning, I woke up to the cancer center calling me this morning, and the way they was talking to me on the phone, like they done did something wrong. And then she was like, make sure you tell the doctor when you come in on Monday that I ain't making sure I tell the doctor nothing. You work with this doctor every single day. Why the hell I need to tell him anything that you got to say? So no, I'm not talking, and I'm not putting in no good word for y'all that work right there with you. You ain't did nothing for me, so I couldn't understand that part. And maybe I'll get a little bit more understanding when I go on Monday if they don't call and switch it up again, you know. So I don't know, but yeah, Juanita, I feel better today, and absolutely. I think if you don't grow up with them, it's harder to. Yeah, so I'm learning. I'm learning along with them, and I'm learning that even though I feel like I don't really care that much for them, I am definitely learning that I care more than you know, more than I thought I did. Yeah. Gamma say I love me some dogs. Gamma, did you grow up with dogs from a little girl? I don't feel like you dumping. And what I have to do, Gamma, is I have to keep in mind that even if I am dumping, I'm dumping on my own page. Yeah, it's just me. Is like I just feel like yeah. For me, I would rather give somebody a smile than to make them shed a tear or to feel any of the things that I'm feeling or any of that, and that's just a thought process that I be going through. So and I'm telling you, when I don't do it, it just my day get worse throughout the day. So it's like better for me. I know eventually I'll get to a place of whenever I just need to hit the live button and do what I'm supposed to do. I will eventually do it instead of like digging my heels in and trying not to. If that makes sense what I'm saying to you. I think I understand marinating. Yeah. Yep. Yes, we always had at least one. Yeah. See, you grow up with the dog, and so then when you grow up with them, it's like you know, it's different. Us, there were restrictions. Like you had animals, but you weren't allowed to enjoy them or whatever. We couldn't go and touch the fish tank, or no, you couldn't put no fingerprints on there, and so as eventually, like you lose interest in going around it because my mom was more interested in keeping everything perfect, instead of us like enjoying life. She changed it up later on in life or whatever, but that's the way I grew up. That's right. You're dumping on your page. This is your story. We can tune out if it's too much, but you release yourself. I'm working on that game. I think I'm getting better and better with it the more that I do that. But yesterday, listen, I hit the live, but I made a short yesterday, and I think it was round about maybe like 11:30, 12 o'clock that I made that short yesterday. But trust me, at least 3 to 4 hours before I hit that live button, before I hit that button and I needed to say what was going on with me that day. I knew that I needed to hit that button like 3 to 4 hours prior to that, and it was just like I was fighting it because I sometimes I just don't want to share the bad news, but sometimes if you don't share the bad news, you people can't understand the testimony that comes from out of it. And God knows I've been asking for some relief from being so sick from the chemo or whatever, and it's out of my control that it's happening, that I'm getting a relief from it, because I've now been able to have what, almost 2 weeks, even though I've been in and out of the hospital, with it, but I'm able to experience some kind of relief of not being so sick from it, with them switching up the days of my appointments. So I would like to thank the hospital staff who suggested you to mention this conversation is to reinforce their discussion with you. Um, Yeah, no, Juanita, when I say that the nurses called me this morning, this is has to do because because of so many things that I've been going through during chemo. My appointments have been switched a couple of times, because one of the times they switched my appointment up. I think, and I'm explaining this to you in the right way from what I think you're saying, just in case I misunderstand you. So they've switched my appointments up because I've been diagnosed with diabetes, and I'm taking 4 insulin shots a day because of now chemo, and it's, the side effects that I'm going through. I've been in the hospital a couple of times, and I haven't seen the doctor. So they scheduled me an appointment to go on tomorrow to get chemo, and they said that the doctor was going to be there. Well, now all of a sudden the doctor is not going to be there, and they called me to confirm my appointment. We calling to find out if you're going to come to your appointment tomorrow, and I want you to know your doctor is not going to be there. And I'm like, no, you switched the appointment so that I can talk to the doctor because of all the complications that I'm having. And now he's not going to be there. Well, I don't feel comfortable now that you switched it up one time, and now all of a sudden he's not going to be there, and you want me to come to an appointment. So no, I don't want to do that appointment because he's not going to be there. So now they done called again, and they done switched the appointment. Now my appointment is on Monday. Is the doctor going to be there? Yes, the doctor is going to be there, because other than that, I'm going through all of this stuff, and I'm just going to walk back in there and get the same treatment again and end back up in the hospital again, and my doctor ain't saying nothing, he ain't switching up nothing, no nothing. No, absolutely not. If you don't get out of my bed, um, um, so I feel like when she's saying, make sure you tell the doctor, she's one of the nurses, and they're responsible for making the phone calls and everything to me. And it's like, she called me, and my appointment was already scheduled for me to see him. It was already changed again, but it's like she called me because she wanted me to put in a good word for them as if they hadn't done anything wrong. And I'm not understanding, why are you even asking me to say anything to the doctor about the way that y'all moved? Um so I feel like something happened, like behind the scenes or whatever, that she wanted me to speak up for. And so no, I'm not speaking up for y'all at all. Y'all ain't did nothing but schedule an appointment. What can I tell him about y'all? I don't know anything special that you done for me or whatever, that I should speak to the doctor on your behalf or whatever. So yeah, I just don't understand that part. Hi, glad you are sitting outside and getting fresh air. I know that's right, Pamela. It feels good to be out here getting some fresh air. I know they can cause confusion. Then they switch the confusion off on. Okay, Juanita, we on the same page right now. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like some confusion or something has went on there, and now they want me to put in a good word for them so that they don't get in trouble by the doctor from what been happening or whatever. Because there's a lot of stuff been happening to me, and they were responsible for like switching it up and everything, and then they been telling me one thing, and then yeah, I don't got time to be putting in no good word for you. I got to remember and write down all of these questions and stuff, and let this doctor know what all been happening to me. My kidneys done went from working at 100% today down to 88%. I've been diagnosed with diabetes, taking 4 shots. My legs done swole up, bigger than they've ever swollen up before, and I've been pregnant 9 times and ain't never had my legs swell up the way that they swelled up. It's just a whole lot of stuff happening, and you want me to go there and talk to the doctor about you? I ain't going. The nurse supposed to be taking care of me. I ain't coming there to take care of y'all. Now you do something worth me talking about, yes, I'm going to go, and I'm going to say it without you having to tell me. But don't call me on the phone and tell me to make sure I tell the doctor anything. Do your damn job, and then you can tell the doctor whatever you want to tell him, and he'll see your work. But don't call me trying to get me to put in a good word for you when y'all know y'all done messed up, especially when it come down to me. That's what I'll say. Yeah, so I feel like that's what they're calling me for, trying to cover themselves so I can put in a good word for them when I come there on Monday. She calling me, and I already had the appointment, so she had me confused this morning, calling me at 8:30 and thinking she calling me
to tell me about an appointment they already called me and talked about to me yesterday, and then gonna throw that little thing in there. So I know that like they trying to cover their behind for something. And then, on Monday I ain't even going there to try and figure out what mistakes somebody gonna be made. If it's meant for me to know about it, it's gonna fall right into my lap, and I'll be like, oh, okay, then now I understand why X, Y, and Z happened. So, and I'm sure my doctor is wanting to know, well, why isn't she showing up or coming for this, that, and the other? So, since you are so correct, yeah. And then, when I come back on Monday or whatever it is that I decide or whatever go on, I'm gonna come back on here and I'm gonna talk about it. Then I'm gonna talk about on coming up on the day of me going to chemo and all of that good stuff, because there's a lot of stuff be going on inside of me. Because you have to think about, when you on your way to heading to these places or whatever. And the best way that I can explain it to me is like, say you're a person and you going somewhere, and you know that whenever you go to this place you're going to get beat up, right? Or you going to get bullied or whatever like that. To me, this is kind of like what chemo is. It's like you get in your car and you taking yourself to this place, and when you're gonna walk in there, there's one person, and when you come out of there, you gonna be beat up down to the ground. Like, chemo beats me up as like, it's other people that I see in there, and it's like they able to walk on their feet when they leave from out of there. I'm not that person. When I leave from out of chemo, I'm a totally different person. It's so much weight on me when I come from out of there. It's like I can't even keep my eyelids feel like they weigh 40 pounds a piece. It's like they so heavy when I come out of. So for me, it's like you got to get up and you constantly got to drive yourself to this place that you know is going to beat you up. And I haven't seen any of the benefits of it. The best news that I've gotten out of it since going through it is, well, it's not spreading. And then they'll tell you on the other side, um, but it's supposed to, we looking for it to shrink, and it's not shrinking any. But it's not growing. So it's like, yeah, you want me to keep coming there and keep getting what I'm getting, and yeah, it just ain't working for me. Continue to be your own advocate. Yeah, I have to be. Are there other infusion clinics that you can go to? That's one of the things I haven't checked into. And also, Pamela, I already said that usually I consult with God. I pray about my situation before I get into it and everything. And this is one situation that I walked to, like the news hit me so hard that I feel like I walked into this like a zombie. And so I'm here in this situation. And so now, around the third round, I started to think about it. I was like, God, I ain't even include you in this situation. So I'm going back and doing all of that. And so even though these appointments been switched around and everything, I believe that God is in control of whatever it is that's happening right now. He in control of backing off or whatever, because ultimately I just want to submit to whatever his will is in this situation, regardless of what's happening to me. If he got a purpose for me to go through it, I'm willing to go through it. But it still don't take away that it's still scary that I'm going through those things. So I'm going to continue though to be. Hey, Ray Gibson, thank you very much. um, yeah, okay. Yeah, we always gotta have that one person that come in here. Sometimes I just be wanting to know what happened to some of these trolls when they come through and troll a place in a space that they don't have no idea that God is also in this space and place. I be wanting to know what happened to them on the other side, because I know they just can't get away with some of the things. Like, some people come through and be saying like stuff be happening to them. Um, and it wouldn't surprise me that when you get off of here and you come into a space like this, it actually happened to you when you get off of here. But it ain't happening in the way that you want it to happen to you. So I be like, these trolls better be careful. Especially when you see how God move in your life and stuff like that. Regardless of the things that you do and everything, you can see the evidence of him moving in your life. Yeah, people better be careful. That analogy breaks my heart. Yeah, but that's what I feel like, Gamma. It's like I go there, and I can walk in there, and when I leave out, I'm not walking. I have to be in a wheelchair. Um, to get to the car that I'm going through because my legs aren't going to make it. It's like my legs are so much like jelly and they just gone. It's like they don't have no strength in them. So it's like the chair that I'm receiving the chemo in is like I need to transfer from that chair to the wheelchair. And it's like sending an email to your body to let your body know every move you about to make. When I get out of the car to go inside of the house when I come from chemo, it's like emailing your body to say, okay, girl, you got to get ready to get up out this chair and walk in the house, and you got to beeline it to the bed because you ain't got enough energy. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm happy to see you, my beautiful black sister. Thank you again, Ray. Yes, pray for God to guide your steps. That's absolutely where I am right now, and whatever steps it is that He requiring me to make, as long as I know that them the steps that He requiring me to make, I can go through, and I can accept it because I know there's something greater on the other side of this, and it doesn't make me not have moments where I'm mad with God because He allowing this to happen to me or whatever. But the story of Job, the devil had to have permission before he can go and do something else because it was something greater that God wanted to bless Job with. In return, and everything Job lost, God gave it back to him. That's why I get that saying from when people come through and they pray for me. I always say, y'all know what my saying is. It's tenfold. Whatever you asking God for me, may He give it back to you 10 times what you asking Him for me in His Son's Jesus name. And I believe that in my heart. I believe everybody who come through and they saying positive prayers and stuff for me. Um, I believe that God gonna pour out a blessing on your head that you won't even know how to receive 10 times what you asked Him for me. I believe that. And so yeah, that's just how that's just how I feel about it. I'm gonna continue to pray for your strength. I thank you very much for that, Gamma. Yes, He is. Listen to that small still voice. And I am, Pamela. I absolutely am. And I'm telling you, I may not do anything. I may not heart your comments and stuff sometimes, but I'm telling you, I'm in the background. I read these comments to help encourage me through the hard times that I'm going through. And sometimes I'm sitting in front of it and I'm just reading the prayers that people sending up for me, and I just got tears in my eyes because I never knew like a multitude of people would be praying for me in the way that people are praying for me. And on the other side, I've experienced it too. Everybody that's praying for you ain't praying for you in a good way. So those people too that come through, it's tenfold to them. Thank you so much, Gamma. Thank you very much for that. Um, there's people that come through and they do not pray good prayers over you. I've experienced that. I've had roots put on me before. The story is here on YouTube. Before. And so if you're doing those kinds of things too, may God give it back to you 10 times what it is that you're trying to do for me. And I don't have any control of that. I just say tenfold to whatever it is because I don't know, I don't know what you asking God for from me, but whatever it is, may He give it back to you 10 times what you asking for me. And we all need to remember that every person that say they praying for you, they're not praying for you in the way that you think they are. You would hope that they are. And I learned that the hard way. That everybody praying for you is not praying for you. So, you know, me, when I'm praying something, I'm hoping that you're praying for me in the right way. And I'm hoping that God pour out a blessing on your head that you don't know how to receive because it's so heavy. So on the other side of this, I feel like God got a purpose for me going through this. And like Job, everything that I lose through this process, it's not going to be a loss. I'm going to get it back 10 times what it is that I lost during the process. It still doesn't take away that it's scary, at times to be going through what it is that I'm going through. But yeah, Miss Coffee, I already know about that, girl. I know. And I thank you very much for it. And you already know what I say. Tenfold. Tenfold. And I know that sometimes in these situations like this, when you praying for somebody, sometimes sickness will show up in your life only because, the devil wants you to shut up and he don't want you to participate in the prayers or whatever. But you know what we have to do for that? We have to rebuke that in the name of Jesus and keep on moving like we do. But you all, my phone is getting ready to die. And I'll be back later on, I think, to have some conversations with y'all and seeing how the rest of the day go. But I need to go and wash my collard greens and get them put on in my crock pot of turkey butts that I already got going on in my crock pot, so they'll be done for me by the time dinner gets here. So I'll talk to y'all later. Tenfold to all of y'all, and remember, keep growing on the inside and on the outside. This is Life with Tashanna over here, where life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get, but one thing you will get is life over here. Life be life, and then sometimes life is just absolutely amazing. So, and we also the high class gardeners over here. That just means we always growing something outside in the yard. It doesn't matter what it is, but what makes us high class is we don't mess around with no bugs, no snakes, and no worms, and also no frogs and stuff like that. And any people that are, people can show up in those forms over here, and we don't mess with those kind of people either. So, yeah, high class gardeners. I watched your short clips and enjoyed them. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you all, I will see you all later. And again, Gamma, thank you for that blessing. I really, really appreciate that. Y'all have an amazing day, and I'll be back later to talk to y'all, even if it's through a short. See y'all later.